What is the war in America and China? China's development was somewhat untouched for some time. It was believed that economic growth will force China to change its political system and its immortal system will turn into liberal system and China becomes a responsible global part will be, but now the day the body is seen as a threat to China and such concerns are increasing that the tension between the US and China can change between the two forces in a state of war that will affect the whole world. A model in the United States is mentioning that it is called Socrates' trap, according to the Greek historian Thucydides. The book detailed for war, Can America and China Aid, Can America and China Avoid Thucydides' Trap have been formulated by the author of Harvard University's International Affairs Professor Graham Allison. Specialist education and journalist must read. Professor Graham told me that the Thucydides trap is a dangerous process in which an old power feels the danger that the emerging power will replace it. In ancient Greece, when Sparta felt threatened by Athens, he fought. In the 19th century the United Kingdom felt threatened by Germany, and today China is challenging the United States. Professor Allison has investigated the history of the 500 years and identified 6 such examples in which the emerging powers faced the already existing power, and 12 out of 16 resulted in warfare. They say that America and China's competition is a decisive stage of global relations. So can America and China avoid a toxic trap, or is it just an academic debate? Professor Hoabu, professor of Institute of Opinion and Peking University of Beijing, said that the thousand-side trap theory is not in the current balance of power. Professor Hobo says that China's development is good, but its current power is not comparable to the American power, and China can compete with a lot of America in more and more Mediterranean. The face of both countries in the Pacific may cause a war between the two forces. Andrew Arkson, a US-based naval war college, said that the current naval power of China is not more impressive but it is getting better. China is developing modern warships that are approaching the capacity of European warriors. They say China's navy strategy is being held day by day. China's naval power moves around China to keep America away from China. Beijing wants China to interfere with China's intervention. For example, China wants that if he uses power in Taiwan and America tries to cross Chinese chains, he feels that he may have to pay a heavy price for this infiltration. But the tension between America and China is related to some personalities. Elizabeth Akinami, who is a counsel of foreign relations, told the president that President Xi Jinping has come as a leader of China who is a sign of China's great role in world affairs. According to Elizabeth Akinami, President's efforts have not been given much attention to the global institutions in terms of Chinese values. America is also changing its position. The US thinks China and Russia such forces that are ready to consider their ideology. The US military thinks China as its competitors. But there is another trend in America that is still in its early stage. Some people in Washington talked about a Cold War with China, like Russia. But unlike Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, there is also an aspect of Cold War with China which was not with the Soviet Union. China and the US economy are linked to each other, which leads to a new dimension of Cold Warfare and is in the technology sector. The dispute between Huawei telecommunication between America and China clearly shows it. The US is implementing windwave technology in its communications network, and is pushing its allies to do the same. The dispute with the U.S. airline technology reflects American thinking that it sees China's technology sector in the context of theft of secrets and secrets. It is thought that China is determined to become a dominant global power in the next decade. It depends on the speed of Chinese development. There are such indications that since the political system of dictatorship, its economic growth may be doubled. If China's economic growth slows down, what will be the result? Some people believe that President Xi Jinping will succeed in executing his plans, while some believe that he will question the legal justification of President Xi's rule, to overcome the feelings of nationalism. Can be embarked or globally. America and China's competition is real and it will not end. A strategic mistake can prove to be very dangerous. Both countries stand on a strategic tour. Either of them will have to find out how to overcome each other's concerns, or both countries will move towards mutual relations. Here comes the thousand type. But Professor Allen emphasizes that